Hello everyone, I'm Dr. David. I'm 60 years old and I've spent more than 3 decades working with patients of all ages from teenagers to the elderly. And after all those years, there's one thing I've realized: the human body is truly amazing, yet incredibly fragile. We often think that health depends only on big things like medicine, surgery, or modern medical breakthroughs. But sometimes it's the small silent factors inside our bodies that make all the difference. Following my previous video, Who Needs Magnesium Supplements Today, I'd like to share with you another very important topic: who should not take magnesium supplements. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on more insights about this special mineral. 1. People with kidney disease. I still remember one quiet morning at my clinic when Mr. Robert, 72, walked in looking exhausted. He said softly, "Doctor, I've been taking magnesium to stop the night cramps, but lately I just feel weaker. My heartbeat is slower and my body feels heavy." I opened his chart and my heart skipped a beat. Mr. Robert had stage 3 chronic kidney disease, and he'd been taking magnesium supplements every day, something that might be helpful for most people, but for him it was like pouring more water into a cup that was already full. I looked at him gently and said, "You know, your kidneys are like loyal gatekeepers. They decide how much water, minerals, and toxins stay in your body. But when the kidneys weaken, they can't close that gate anymore. And magnesium, which is normally essential, can start to build up and become toxic." Few people realize that magnesium is cleared almost entirely through the kidneys. When your kidneys are healthy, your body automatically adjusts. It releases the excess and holds onto what you need. But when kidney function declines, magnesium starts to accumulate silently in the blood, leading to what's called magnesium toxicity. I've seen this happen before. Another patient, Mrs. Ellen, was taking a natural magnesium supplement her daughter bought online. She didn't know she had mild kidney disease. After a few weeks, she became nauseous, dizzy, slow to speak, with a heavy feeling in her limbs. Her blood magnesium levels were nearly twice the normal range. Magnesium toxicity doesn't usually show up dramatically. It creeps in quietly, often mistaken for fatigue, aging, or stress, but if left unchecked, it can slow the heartbeat, cause breathing problems, or even become life-threatening. Many people assume it's just a mineral. How dangerous could it be? But biology always reminds us every system in your body depends on balance. When your kidneys can no longer maintain that balance, even something good can turn harmful. I often tell my patients, your body doesn't need more. It needs what's right. So if you or someone you love has kidney disease, even mild, be very cautious about taking magnesium supplements. Don't rely on labels that say safe, natural, or gentle electrolyte balance. Nothing is truly safe if your body can't process it. Think of your body as a small pond and your kidneys as the drain. If that drain gets clogged, even one extra bucket of water can make the pond overflow. That's exactly how magnesium can build up when kidney function declines. So if your kidneys aren't working at full strength, don't take magnesium unless your doctor specifically recommends it. Instead, focus on balance. Eat fresh vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and drink enough water so your body can naturally regulate itself. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your health isn't adding more, it's knowing when to stop. And often, doing nothing extra is the most caring thing you can do for your body. 2. People with chronic digestive disorders, ulcers, IBS, or inflammatory bowel disease. I once met a patient named Linda, 48, a teacher who came to see me because she was always tired, cramping, and couldn't sleep well. She said, "Doctor, I eat healthy and take magnesium every day, but I still feel drained and my stomach always hurts." I asked her gently, "Do you have any digestive issues like IBS or ulcers?" She nodded. She had had irritable bowel syndrome for over 10 years, something many dismiss as minor, but it deeply affects nutrient absorption. I explained magnesium is like a VIP guest, but your body has to open the door for it. If your gut lining is inflamed or irritated, that door starts to close. Many people take the right form and right dose of magnesium, but if their gut is compromised, their body simply can't absorb it. It's like pouring water into a cracked glass. No matter how much you pour, it never fills up. For those with ulcers, IBS, or inflammatory bowel disease, magnesium can sometimes worsen symptoms, causing bloating, diarrhea, or stomach pain. The body ends up working harder just to flush out what it can't use. I remember an older gentleman, Mr. Harris, 67, who told me with a sigh, "I take magnesium for cramps, but it just makes my stomach churn and sends me running to the bathroom." We found out later he had mild intestinal inflammation from long-term antacid use. The problem wasn't the magnesium itself, it was that his gut wasn't ready to absorb it. So I often ask my patients to pause and reflect. Is your body truly ready to receive what you're trying to give it? Sometimes we focus so much on what's missing, what the lab test says we lack, that we forget to ask why the deficiency exists in the first place. You might not need more magnesium, you might just need a healthier gut so your body can naturally absorb what it needs. That's why I always say, before you add anything, make sure your body is ready to take it in. If you live with chronic digestive issues, be careful with magnesium supplements. Work with your doctor to assess whether your gut is open or closed to absorption, because if that door is shut, no supplement will truly help. Your body is a beautifully complex system. Magnesium doesn't just need to be taken, it needs to be received. And often, true healing begins not by adding more, but by healing what's been hurting inside first. 3. People with low blood pressure. I remember a young woman named Julia, 35, a graphic designer who came to me feeling constantly dizzy, weak, and sometimes fainting when standing up. She told me Dr. I've had low blood pressure for years. Recently, I started taking magnesium because I heard it helps with sleep and stress, but I feel worse. Every morning, I wake up lightheaded with my heart beating slower. I looked at her and said gently, "Julia, did you know magnesium, while very beneficial, can actually lower blood pressure even more?" Her eyes widened in surprise. That's something many people don't realize. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and slows the heart rate. That's wonderful for someone with high blood pressure, but risky for someone like Julia. I told her low blood pressure is like a weak flame. Your body is trying to keep it burning just enough to sustain life. When you add magnesium, that flame can die down even further, and you start to feel dizzy, tired, or faint. I've seen others with the same issue, like Daniel, 58, an engineer with chronic low blood pressure. He took magnesium after reading online that it helps stabilize the heartbeat. Within days, he felt drained cold, pale, and his heart rate slowed dramatically. His blood pressure was only 85/55 mmHg. The scary part is these symptoms can easily be mistaken for stress fatigue or anemia. And without realizing it, a person might keep taking magnesium, pushing their blood pressure dangerously lower. So I often tell patients, not everyone needs magnesium. For people with low blood pressure, adding more can actually throw your body off balance. Your body has its own wisdom. Low blood pressure isn't just a number, it's your body's way of managing energy and blood flow. When magnesium relaxes your blood vessels, blood pools in your lower body, less reaches your brain, and you feel lightheaded. Think of your circulatory system as a network of pipes. The pressure keeps water flowing to every part. If the pressure is already weak and you widen the pipes even more, the flow slows down. That's exactly what magnesium does. It widens the pipes, dropping your pressure even further. So if you have low blood pressure or often feel faint, cold, or tired, don't self-prescribe magnesium, no matter how natural or gentle the brand claims to be. Let your doctor evaluate what your body truly needs. There are safer ways to support your system. Eat enough natural salts, don't over-restrict sodium, stay hydrated. Move regularly to boost circulation, and only use magnesium when a professional says it's appropriate. Because as I often remind my patients, the key isn't how much you take, it's whether your body truly needs it. For someone with low blood pressure, even one small magnesium pill can slow the heart just a little too much. And in medicine, one heartbeat too slow at the wrong time can make all the difference. 4. People with slow or irregular heartbeats. I once met a patient named Mr. Howard, 63 years old, a former swimmer. He came to my clinic calm on the outside, but his voice trembled with worry. "Doctor," he said, "my heart's been beating really slow lately, around 50 beats a minute. I read somewhere that magnesium helps stabilize the heartbeat, so I started taking supplements. But the more I take, the slower my heart feels, like it wants to fall asleep." When I opened his ECG results, I saw that his heartbeat wasn't just slow. There were pauses, little hesitations, as if his heart was unsure whether to beat or rest. I looked at him and said softly, "Howard, listen carefully. Magnesium does help regulate the heart's electrical system, but when the heart is already slow, Adding more magnesium is like pulling the handbrake on a car that's barely moving. Our hearts beat thanks to a delicate network of electrical impulses. Magnesium helps stabilize those signals. It reduces spasms and keeps the rhythm steady, but it also lowers the heart's excitability. For someone whose heart beats too fast, that's a blessing. But for someone whose heartbeat is already slow, extra magnesium can push it further down sometimes to dangerous levels, even leading to cardiac arrest if the kidneys can't clear it well. I remember another patient, Mrs. Susan, 70 years old, who had mild atrial fibrillation. She believed that natural magnesium would steady her heart without medication. After a month, she felt dizzy, exhausted, short of breath, her pulse only 45 beats per minute. Tests showed her magnesium levels were higher than normal, even though she had only been taking a light supplement. I explained to her, "Your heart is like a conductor, and magnesium is the one setting the tempo. But if the music is already slow and the tempo keeper slows it down even more, the orchestra will stop playing." People with slow or irregular heart rhythms are highly sensitive to even small changes in electrolytes, especially magnesium, potassium, and calcium. A tiny imbalance can throw the rhythm off, sometimes skipping beats, other times beating too weakly to pump blood effectively to the brain. Many people think stabilizing the heartbeat means taking more magnesium will make it more regular. But stability doesn't mean slowness. The heart needs balance, not breaks. I often tell my patients, your heart doesn't need you to force it into calm. It just needs you not to disturb the fragile balance it's already working hard to keep. If you or someone you love has a slow heartbeat arrhythmia or is taking heart medications like beta blockers or calcium channel blockers, taking magnesium without medical guidance can make the slowing effects worse, sometimes dangerously so. I want you to imagine this. Your heart is like a fine-tuned clock. Each beat is a gear turning perfectly in sync. Magnesium is the oil that keeps the gears moving smoothly. But if you pour in too much oil, the gears slip and the clock slows down or stops altogether. So if you belong to this group with slow or irregular heartbeat or taking cardiac medication, always consult your doctor before taking magnesium in any form, pill powder, or even natural herbal supplements. In medicine, the line between regulating and suppressing is often razor thin. Magnesium can be your friend, but it can also become the one that silences your heart song if given to the wrong person in the wrong way. And sometimes the best thing you can do for your heart isn't to add more, but to listen closely and ask, is it slowing down because it's tired or because someone's pulling too hard on the brakes? People with unbalanced diets, low in vegetables, nuts, and whole grains. I once met a woman named Sarah, 42 years old, who worked in media, busy, dynamic, always racing against time. When she came to see me, she complained of constant fatigue, irritability, insomnia, and occasional twitching around her eyes. She smiled wearily and said, "Doctor, I drink coffee all day, but I eat decently a sandwich in the morning, salad for lunch, something quick at night, but I feel like I've just run a marathon every day." I asked her a question that seemed simple. "Sarah, in the past week, have you had a meal that truly included vegetables, whole grains, or nuts?" She paused, then gave a faint smile. "Probably not." I smiled back and said, "You're not lacking food, Sarah. You're lacking real food. That's something I see all too often today in a world where industrial foods, processed snacks, sugary drinks, coffee, and refined sugar have replaced natural meals rich in minerals. And magnesium found in green vegetables, nuts, beans, and whole grains has become the silent victim of this shift. What's worse, even the vegetables we eat today contain less magnesium than they used to. Over-farmed soil pesticides and chemical fertilizers have stripped the earth of its natural minerals. So even if you eat vegetables daily, the magnesium you get is far less than it was a few decades ago. I told Sarah years ago, one bowl of boiled greens provided enough magnesium for a day. Now you'd need 3 or 4 times that much to match it. She looked surprised and whispered, "So I've been living healthy and still missing what matters." Exactly. Many people today live in a state of functional magnesium deficiency, not sick enough to be hospitalized, but just depleted enough to feel constantly tired, anxious, sleepless, and prone to muscle cramps. We forget that magnesium is the key to hundreds of biological reactions: energy production, nerve transmission, muscle relaxation, and heart rhythm regulation. And when that key goes missing, everything begins to falter. I once asked a group of patients during a workshop, If your body were an orchestra, have you ever wondered why it always seems out of tune, even when you eat, sleep, and live just like everyone else? The answer: the conductor magnesium is missing. Unbalanced diets heavy on meat, sugar, and processed foods leave no room for magnesium. On top of that, coffee, alcohol, stress, and diuretics, all common in modern life, drain magnesium even faster. When I explained this, Sarah sighed and said, "Funny, I thought I was taking care of myself. Turns out, I've been quietly wearing my body down." I smiled and told her, no one's to blame. Modern life makes us believe that being healthy means not being sick, but true health lives in every cell and the tiny minerals we've forgotten. I often tell my patients, start small. Add a handful of spinach, a few almonds, a bowl of oatmeal in the morning. Don't rush to pills. Let real food do what it was meant to do. Because your body doesn't need tablets to fix magnesium deficiency. It needs to be nourished again with real food, real soil, and a real rhythm of life. And perhaps that's the only way to rediscover what genuine vitality feels like, the kind that comes from within, not from a supplement bottle. 6. People taking medications that interact with magnesium: antibiotics, heart drugs, muscle relaxants. I once had a patient named Mr. Thomas, 60 years old, who suffered from high blood pressure and chronic muscle pain. He came to me looking puzzled. "Doctor, I only took magnesium to relax my muscles, but now my heart feels slower. I feel faint, and my heart meds don't seem to work as well." I checked his prescriptions. He was taking beta blockers for his heart, a muscle relaxant for shoulder pain, and a course of antibiotics he'd bought himself for a cold. When I saw that list, I sighed. "Mr. Thomas, you said magnesium can be a good friend, but with the medications you're taking, it becomes an uninvited guest. Few people realize that magnesium can interact with many drugs, altering how they work in the body, sometimes weakening them, sometimes amplifying them dangerously. For example, with antibiotics like tetracyclines or quinolones, magnesium can bind to the drug molecules in the gut, forming an insoluble compound. The result: the antibiotic isn't absorbed, becomes useless, and the person wonders why they're taking medicine but not getting better. With heart medications, especially calcium channel blockers or beta blockers, magnesium enhances the same effects: slower heart rate, relaxed blood vessels. That might sound good, but taken together it can lower blood pressure too much, slow the heart excessively, and cause dizziness or even cardiac arrest. I recall another case, Mrs. Maria, 68 years old, with mild arrhythmia. A friend told her to take magnesium to keep the heart steady. Within days, she was so weak her pulse dropped dangerously she had to be hospitalized. Her blood magnesium levels were abnormally high. The cause: magnesium had intensified the effects of her heart medication, pressing the brakes too far. I often tell my patients, not everything natural is safe. In medicine, the most harmless-looking things can cause the most trouble if they end up where they don't belong. Magnesium can also interact with muscle relaxants, making muscles weaker, reflexes slower, and in older people or those with lung disease, even causing breathing difficulty. It's like the whole system, heart, lungs, and muscles, suddenly decides to move in slow motion. I often compare magnesium to a graceful guest, one who must be invited to the right table at the right time. If you already have guests like heart drugs, antibiotics, or relaxants inside your system, adding another guest unannounced can throw the whole dinner into chaos. So I tell my patients, including Mr. Thomas, if you're on any medication, always talk to your doctor before taking magnesium, even a small packet or a natural supplement. Your body isn't a chemistry lab, and your heart, kidneys, and liver can't predict every reaction that might occur. In medicine, we don't just treat disease, we manage a delicate balance among hundreds of biochemical reactions happening every moment. Even one small magnesium tablet taken in the wrong context can tip that balance. So if you're using antibiotics, heart medications, muscle relaxants, diuretics, or any long-term treatment, be careful. Magnesium isn't harmful, but it must be introduced with respect. Sometimes true wisdom in caring for your health isn't about knowing what else to take, but knowing when to stop. Because some things, no matter how good they seem, should be used with deep respect for your body and for the fragile balance that keeps you alive, one heartbeat at a time. I often tell my patients, magnesium is a wonderful friend, but only when your body truly needs its company. Those who should consider magnesium supplements are people showing clear signs or risks of deficiency, constant fatigue, stress, insomnia, muscle cramps, mild digestive issues, or those under chronic mental pressure. Especially people with diets low in vegetables, nuts, and whole grains, high-intensity professionals, menopausal women, or heavy users of coffee and alcohol. They may benefit, but always under professional guidance. On the other hand, those who shouldn't take magnesium are people with kidney disease, low blood pressure, slow or irregular heartbeats, chronic digestive disorders, or those taking interacting drugs like antibiotics, heart medications, or muscle relaxants. For them, magnesium stops being a supplement and becomes a burden for the heart, kidneys, and nervous system. The most important thing is this: never supplement just because you heard it's good. Health doesn't come from adding more at random. It comes from understanding and listening to your own body. If your body truly needs magnesium, it will know how to receive it. If it doesn't, then sometimes doing nothing extra is the wisest act of self-care you can give yourself. Conclusion: listen to your body before adding anything new. Magnesium truly is a remarkable mineral. It helps us sleep better, relax, steady our heartbeat, and stay energized each day. But as you've seen, not everyone needs it, and not everyone should take it. For some, magnesium can restore balance and calm. For others, it might be the last drop that overwhelms the heart, kidneys, or nervous system. The most important thing is this: before you add anything to your routine, ask your body first, and if needed, ask your doctor. Sometimes what your body really needs isn't another supplement, but a good night's rest, a real meal, and a moment of quiet self-awareness. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for the next part of this series, The Hidden Side of Magnesium: Risks, Side Effects, and How to Use It Safely. It might just change the way you think about what healthy truly means.